Well, I think that, the focus was to improve from last week to this week, and there was a lot of players that made a significant amount of improvement. We're obviously not where we want to be. We're not disappointed in where we are, but really we have to eliminate the plays that, sort of get you beat. We had way too many undisciplined type penalties, whether it's defense offsides, illegal formation on offense, false start. Those things are the kind of undisciplined things that stop drives, give them another opportunity on third down. Had a lot of drop balls today, which has been a little bit unusual for us, but we need to be able to throw it and catch it with more consistency. We did make some explosive plays, but and we kind of just need to clean up and do things and execute things with a little more discipline and focus. I thought the effort was better today. I thought we got off to a little bit of a slow start today because, we had about a 30-minute rain delay in the beginning. I think you guys probably here for that. I think I talked about this the other day. Given effort is not a gift. Talent is a gift. We've kind of always had, pretty talented guys around here. But to play with the kind of intangibles, effort, discipline, toughness, responsible to do your job. We need more people to be able to do that. I thought the ones basically played pretty well in the scrimmage, the first defense, but for the depth on our squad, we really have to get more guys to play with more consistency, and we got a lot of young players. And I think it's going to be a work in progress to get those guys to, get the knowledge and experience and understanding that they need to have to go out there and play with the kind of intangibles when they know what they're doing. So we've got plenty to work on. We're not disappointed in where we are. We're excited about, the things that we're going to technically look at from this scrimmage and work to improve on this week before we start getting ready for our first game against USC, which will be a very challenging opponent. If you don't fix your problems, they stay with you. And most of the time you fix your problems from inside out. All right, so it's not really the scoreboard or the external factors or where you're ranked or any of that. It's how bad you want to do it right, how bad you want to get it right, how bad you want to be a great competitor, and how bad you want to dominate the competition. So I think that's the challenge for us and our team right now.
Okay, we'll start up here on the left with Cecil. Coach, were the quarterback reps similar in this scrimmage to what they were in the previous scrimmage? And is there anybody who's trending, or are they all still sort of bunched together?
Well, I think that, there's encouraging things. I think the big word there that I'd like to use with these guys is consistency. One day or 2 days in a row, it will look like, one guy's starting to, sort of forge ahead a little bit. All right, then 2 days later, somebody else seems to have a good day or two, and it makes you think that, maybe this guy's the guy that's, starting to take the bull by the horns and going to be the guy. So I think it's consistency. I think it's the guy that can go out there and do it day in and day out and have the confidence to do it, not the press, take what the defense gives, don't try to make plays. But I think what the quarterback's got to understand, and you've heard me say this before, is you can't make the plays that lose the game. We played here with quarterbacks on good teams that they didn't necessarily win the game. They just never did anything to lose the game. And I think it starts with that. And those are the kind of plays that we have to eliminate. And I think understanding the situation, whether it's 2 minute and, you take off running and the clock runs out rather than throwing the ball to the read that you had, those types of things are what the players have to understand and be able to do with more consistency. I think everybody is capable. I don't have any question about the capabilities. We talk about this on a daily basis, but each time we talk about it, somebody seems to come to the forefront, and then all of a sudden somebody else sort of pushes ahead. So the person that can play with the most consistency, is the guy that's going to have the best opportunity to lead us in the first game. And I can't really say that one guy sticks out right now. I think, you know, they have different skill sets, so doing what they can do would probably help each and every one of them. And we probably have to get into that some this week.
Yeah, just from an injury standpoint, did you have anybody sit out of the scrimmage or anybody get hurt during the scrimmage?
I can't understand what you said.
From an injury standpoint, did you have anybody sit out of the scrimmage or did you have anybody get hurt?
Yeah, we had a couple guys that we didn't scrimmage today. Dalvin Tomlinson, who, you know, injured his ankle, he was dressed. You know, probably could have done some things today, but we didn't want to push the envelope on him. Holcomb has a twisted ankle too. We held him out. He might be out for another day or two. Cam Sims, I got a little knee soreness late in the week last week, so from his injured knee, so we held him out basically because we thought it would be good for him to get 3 days. You know, we're really not going to practice for the next 2 days. The players are off tomorrow. We watch the film on Monday. We do stretch and stride, which is really not practice, all right, and with the strength coaches. And so we wanted to take advantage of, you know, giving him some downtime that might be able to help him get back to 100% because he was having a really, really good camp. I think that's it, right? I think that's all the guys, and we didn't have anybody get seriously injured today, which was a good thing. So hopefully we'll be pretty much close to full strength when we start back on Tuesday.
Left side of Michael. 2 scrimmages in, what are the things that you want to see improve the most specifically?
Well, you know, I think that, you know, I talked about playing with more discipline as a team, too many penalties, illegal formations, false starts. So that's one thing that I think is, you know, very correctable, and we need to get it corrected. I think the biggest thing is for us to find more players who can contribute on a consistent basis. I think we can play a little better in the offensive line, be a little more physical, finish plays a little bit better. You know, we're still looking for consistency at running back position. Obviously, you know, quarterback is something that we'd like to see happen. I didn't think in the beginning of the scrimmage today we tackled very well on defense, which is uncharacteristic for us. Maybe that, I think we got off to a little bit of a slow start after we sat around for a half hour to go out there and play. So, you know, we can't give up big plays on defense. We got to be a good tackling team. We got to get turnovers. All those things are things that I think we need to improve on.
Right with Tony.
Hey, Coach, could you talk a little bit about the secondary, and are some of the younger players kind of taking a more mature role?
Well, they have to. You know, with the losses of the guys that we've had that would have been, you know, contributors, maybe even starters in some cases. You know, I've been really encouraged by Hootie Jones and Deontay Thompson, and we have played Trayvon Diggs on both sides of the ball, and he's done very well, so that's been very helpful. Anthony Everett has had a good camp, so we feel like we have 3 good corners, and we have to have one of these young guys sort of come along and step up and continue to improve. They've made a lot of progress, but that's where the depth's got to come from at that position.
A couple more quick ones. We'll start in the back with Scott.
Hey, Nick, you'd never have hesitated in the past to play young guys or freshmen if they were ready to play and you thought they were the right guy. Do you view quarterback differently because they touch the ball every play, or is that the same as the other positions, you think?
No, I think we you know, to me, I don't look at a guy as to whether he's a freshman or a sophomore or a junior, or I look at him with what kind of maturity does he play with. You know, not what his chronological age is or class is, but how fast does he grasp what he needs to do to play at his position, and what kind of maturity does he go out there and compete with, what kind of decision-making and judgment. We'll probably have more freshmen play this year maybe than we've had for a while around here because we feel good about some of them. They got a long way to go, but we lost a lot of good players, and some of those guys are certainly adding depth at a lot of positions for us, and we need them to be able to have roles so that you know, one of the good things about last year's team is we had a lot of guys who could play. You know, we played 16 or 17 guys as starters on defense. So we rotated a lot of guys in there. We were fresh on third down. Well, we need to get some guys that can do that so that, you know, for instance, Ryan Anderson and Tim Williams don't have to play every regular down, so somebody else can play so they can be better on third down. So, and this is true at a lot of positions, and it's true on positions on offense, whether it's a receiver or running back. But I do not have a problem with a guy's chronological age. Just like we played 2 freshmen in secondary, true freshmen last year. You can get beat back there with freshmen playing, but those guys knew what to do. They learned how to do it. They were confident, and they played pretty well for us. So, you know, now if a guy plays quarterback and he's a young player, I think that it'll require us having patience in his development and not ask him to do things that he's not ready to do.
Nick, you pointed to the scrimmages as points you want to see the quarterbacks separate themselves. Have you seen enough in the 2 scrimmages where you feel you can whittle down the competition, or you still expect to go 3 the rest of the way?
I really don't understand your question. I don't know if I can't hear or you guys can't talk in the mic or whatever, but.
Saying is there still three quarterbacks involved in the conversation,
Yes.
or is it whittled down?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you. That was an easy question.